Ripple no longer playing defense. They're drawing up an entirely new game plan. And XRP may be the centerpiece of a financial reset that nobody's ready for. The crypto world, they're sitting here debating price charts and token unlocks. Meanwhile, Ripple is quietly aligning with the most powerful institutions on earth. And what comes next could shatter every assumption about how XRP fits into the global system. Look what just happened with BlackRock and Bitcoin. Retail traders, we trade emotion. Wall Street, they buy the dip with violence. Now imagine that same institutional machine targeting XRP. An XRP ETF, it's not just bullish, it's structural. It doesn't just create demand, it rewires the market. Let's get right into it. I want you to see this, how this is really a game changer for XRP. BlackRock's Bitcoin ETF, it proved this point. It proved the model. Prices, they still swing in Bitcoin. It's still volatile. But IBIT's assets under management, they keep climbing. I made this chart so you can see this here. You see this 2-year chart. Of course, Bitcoin's price continues to go up. And there are dips, but they are less extreme than in the past. But look at IBIT. It's assets under management. It just keeps going up, that line in red, up and up and up. And there's a small dip here, big deal. It doesn't last long. And then they continue to acquire. And this makes Bitcoin less volatile to the downside. It makes this more tradable and sustainable over the long term for growth. This is a game changer. And this very same thing is going to happen for XRP. And the effect will probably be amplified here. Institutional capital. Wall Street brings sticky long-term investment that soaks up volatility and creates stronger price floors. We've been seeing this happen. Market transformation. Retail hype gives way to sustainable institutional growth patterns and demand unlock. An XRP ETF wouldn't just unlock demand, it would fundamentally reshape the entire market. This crypto space is going through a transitionary period here, and XRP is next on deck to make that graduation to the big leagues, and it's probably going to happen next month. And it's not about that initial pop alone. It's a lot bigger than that. It's foundational and it's long term, and I can't wait till we seize that moment and we see a spot ETF for XRP. It's going to be a game changer here. Big news, XRP takes flight in global aviation, and there's so much more we can do with this ledger than just payments. Payments are huge, but there's a lot more here. Air China has partnered with NASDAQ-listed Webus International and giving 60 million PhoenixMiles members potential access to XRP-powered payment solutions, faster settlements, tokenized rewards. That's interesting. Everyone wants to do this. They want to take their airline miles, which interestingly enough, I heard Chris Larson talk about this back in the day, and I say, no one's ever going to do that. Well, yes, they are doing that. This actually is a use case for blockchain. Blockchain-powered loyalty programs and reward systems, global scale adoption moving beyond finance into real-world travel applications. And again, you're going to see a lot of these use cases where blockchain makes systems more efficient, more usable, and there's just so much out there we can do with the XRP Ledger, and this is just one big partnership that showcases that. It's quite exciting here. Tron really showcased the playbook here where I think we'll see success with XRP. XRP is going to rewrite that playbook. Tron's USDT tether, their dominance in emerging markets proved that demand for cheap, fast access to dollars. So these people in these markets, they're not using crypto to gamble on stuff. They're using tether to pay for bills, to buy food, whatever. They want usable fiat currency, and so they go to the Tron network. Because if they use, of course, Ethereum, it's too expensive, takes too long. Tron gives them fast, cheap, and usable dollars. Well, when you look at the XRP Ledger, nothing against Tron, but it's a better blockchain, and something like RLUSD will be regulated. You'll know it's one-to-one backed, possibly even integrated directly with the Federal Reserve. Like globally, that's going to be powerful. And I think really this will be a big expansion of real-world use cases of the XRP Ledger. Market expansion, Ripple's RLUSD is already expanding into Africa. A regulated edge, unlike Tether's gray zones, RLUSD could come fully regulated and institutional ready. It doesn't mean Tether can't come over to the XRP Ledger as well. That could happen. In scale, we're already seeing RLUSD scale quite a bit. We've crossed 700 million, and this is just the beginning. Tron revealed the demand RLUSD could deliver it at scale on the XRP Ledger, along with other major stablecoins. It's not just Ripple stablecoin that I think could do a lot of damage. The XRP Ledger itself is scalable, fast, efficient, It's built for this type of thing, and we already know the demand is there. So the market is for the taking, and we should be able to take it. Google Cloud spotlights Flare's AI revolution. I think Flare's going to do some big stuff with AI, man. I'm just telling you here, it's one of the things beyond F assets and DeFi and all this other stuff. I think they're going to do big work within AI, and it's what makes me so excited about Flare. AI inference runs into trusted execution environments, remote attestations, um, on-chain verifications, decentralized trust. Flare is pioneering verifiable AI on blockchain, adding a trust layer no other chain currently offers. And again, this is being highlighted by Google. And it's one of the things where we've seen a very real partnership between Google and Flare. And I'm sure the finance stuff is in there, but I think potentially what Flare does with AI is why Google is so interested in them, in this partnership. And I think that's going to be a big driver of value over the long term. And we heard Hugo say that really what blockchain's done for money, what it does for AI may be even more important. That's going to be a big driver of value. You best believe it here. Stablecoins go mainstream. I was reading this report, 5.8 billion, a record transfer. Retail stablecoins hit new highs in August, 5.8 billion in transfers. The leading networks are BSC, Ethereum, and Tron for stablecoin payments. And corporate adoption is rising. Stripe CEO confirmed increasing adoption among global businesses, while Bank of America highlights tokenization liquidity benefits for institutional use cases. I mean, this 5.8 billion is nothing. It's a lot of growth, but we're going to look back a year from now in a regulated market with all the stuff that's going out here, and that's going to be child's play. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as we go. And remember, this is just like the Trojan horse. This lets us hook right into TradFi, and it's always a problem getting value onto the blockchain and off, and that's not going to be a problem any longer. It's going to make your blockchain use cases that much more liquid, easy to use, and useful over the very long term. It does not replace crypto. It makes it more valuable, and that's what's important to understand. The faster you see stablecoins grow, the faster you know crypto values will as well. We're seeing the market right now. Fear starting to take hold over the weekend. The fear and greed index is dropping into fear territory, but there's still signals there showing an altcoin season may be emerging. To me, it doesn't really matter. Does it start this month? Whatever. It does start, a few months down the road. We will see it develop. Traditionally, this is a tough month for crypto in general, especially altcoins. But I see some drivers there in the near horizon. I can't believe we're going to go clear this whole month and no one's big, no one's significant with money is going to make a run at a likely XRP and Solana ETF, unless they know something we don't know. And the big money knows, hey, that ain't going to happen. Right now, we're talking about 95% chances of being approved. At some point, they got to make a run at that. That's my opinion. We'll see it play out, though. It doesn't matter. Altcoins are severely undervalued. XRP severely undervalued. And at some point, that price is going to pop. Whether it happens now because of my idea about ETFs on the near horizon or it happens a little bit later, doesn't matter. We are honing in on that, and it's only a matter of time before we see the altcoin market respond. It should respond just because we're in a regulatory favorable environment right now. And just a little over a year ago, SEC was attacking this space, and now they're really helping clarify the rules and how to grow in a legally compliant manner. Just that alone takes so much risk, and those asset values should be much, much higher. It's just a matter of time before we see this space pop. Lastly, 2025, this is the third fastest rate cutting cycle we've ever seen globally. Now, the U.S., we haven't seen it, but the European Central Bank, 4 rate cuts implemented this year. Bank of Canada, 2 rate cuts. Bank of England, 3. And Swiss National Bank has 2 bank cuts, bringing the rate back to 0. The U.S. Federal Reserve, 0 cuts as to date, but they are probably going to start easing aggressively because there's a lot of problems in the U.S. job market right now. They have that dual mandate. They have to, of course, protect against inflation, but also keep full employment. It's looking very scary out there in the job market. So look for them not to just drop rates, but expand that balance sheet. Now, long term, we've seen when that starts to happen, when that pivot happens, 12 to 18 months, usually we run into some financial problems. But that's not going to matter right now. As we're going through a growth phase in crypto, we should see a lot of action and a lot of price appreciation. We'll have to see it play out. We'll see how it works out, but it looks that way. Look for the U.S. to really start expanding that balance sheet, most importantly, and also reducing those rates. Let me know what you think down below As always, please like, please subscribe. The revolution will be televised right here on Jungle Link.